Thank you, Jason David Frank.
And Mr. Saban.
That's Tom.
And that's Chris.
Power Ranger villains who are our favorites and who we would like to throw into the abyss.
We're going to talk about them, so stay tuned.
It's PRNT time.
Hello, I'm Andrew Stamps, winner of the autographed PRNT shirt, and it's PRNT time.
Welcome, Rangers,
To this episode of
PRNT,
your source for all things
Power Rangers.
On this episode, we're going to talk about our favorite villains and our least favorite villains, and we're going to give you our reasoning behind each one.
Now, we would like to note we are talking about the main villain from the seasons, not the overarching big bosses like Dark Spectre.
We have 3 villains in each category, and as we go through the list, you may or may not see your favorite or least favorite villain. That is because we picked the villains that were most memorable to us, either good or bad, and if your favorite or least favorite villain didn't make the list, that's just because they weren't memorable to us.
That's right. Okay, let's get started with our favorite villains, starting with our number 3 pick, Rancic from Time Force.
Rancic is the first villain in the Power Ranger series that is driven by something besides evil. He's driven by hate.
That's right. After being created in a chemical accident that left him deformed, the world shunned him, and over time his heart grew more cold and colder until it was filled with hate and revenge.
When he finally did start his reign of terror, he used more realistic means of evil like robbery and kidnapping, which was refreshing to see him getting away from the crazy harebrained schemes of villains from previous seasons.
Rancic was also extremely powerful with the abilities of teleportation, telekinesis, and even bone manipulation. He was also a skilled fighter, good with a blade, and even killed a Ranger in the opening of Time Force. In the final battle between him and the Rangers, he was actually succeeding in defeating them. We believe he would have actually won had he not turned himself in.
This brings us to our number 2 favorite villain, Lord Zedd from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
The first thing we want to say about Lord Zedd is that he is a completely American exclusive villain, meaning he has no Japanese counterpart. In the show, he came to Earth to check up on Rita's progress on conquering the Earth.
He is considered one of the most evil villains of all time. Actually, when he first appeared, he was so evil and so scary that parents were actually writing into the show saying that he was scaring their children. So after that, you can see the writers of the show kind of toned Lord Zedd down a little bit, gave him more kind of crazy schemes like the junk food monster.
A quick fact about Lord Zedd, his appearance is due to a failed attempt at stealing the Zeo Crystal in ancient history. The Zeo Crystal had a force field around it, which ripped off his skin, leaving his muscles open and revealed, which is why he looks the way he does on the show.
And now to our number 1 most favorite villain, Mechagod from Dino Thunder.
Like Lord Zedd, Mechagod was also an American exclusive character, and like Rancic, he had a goal that drove his evil. He wanted to restore the Earth to the time of dinosaurs.
Mechagod was created during a lab accident. Anton Mercer was trying to fuse human DNA with dinosaur DNA. After the accident, we see the flip-flop between Anton and Mechagod. Both individuals being aware that the other existed and that they were sharing the same body, and of course both of them hated each other.
He is our number 1 favorite villain because of the scale of evil he is attempting. He is attempting to completely eradicate human existence. He is dark and cold and is a serious calculating villain with no sense of humor. We can't help but take him seriously and be terrified of him. Every hiss gave us chills. He is truly the villain of nightmares.
Let's switch gears now to some of our least favorite villains, starting with Rita Repulsa.
Now, before you get your wand in a knot, let us explain we are talking about the Rita from the TV series. The comic book Rita and the Rita from the new movie look totally awesome. We know the comic book Rita is actually a serious evil witch, not to be messed with. And they are way more legit than the TV Rita. So we are exclusively talking about the TV's Rita.
TV's Rita, to us, was more annoying than terrifying. She had some wild and crazy schemes that ultimately failed, and she would always blame others for her failures and never really went and fought herself too much.
Rita was more of a comic-like villain, with her constant headaches and that screaming voice that would wake anyone up out of a centennial recharge.
All of these things didn't make her a legit evil force for us. There was one moment, though, where we kind of stood up and took notice, and that was the Green Ranger saga.
I love you, JDF.
During the Green Ranger saga, we thought maybe she would kind of turn a page and become more of this evil force. But after that was over, she just went back to the same old Rita.
Next on our list for least favorite villain is Lothar from Ninja Storm.
Like Rita, he has a stress-induced physical ailment. His was not headaches, it was acid reflux. But this reminded us of Rita a lot, and we feel that Lothar is kind of the Rita of the Disney era.
He was also very comical, often acting goofy around his nieces, and even broke the fourth wall a couple of times during his season.
Even though he was, a really experienced and well-trained fighter, the whiny attitude and the goofy moments really made it hard for us to take him seriously as a villain.
Okay, finally.
No.
Our number one least favorite villain, Divatox.
No, we don't have to.
We knew this day would come, dude.
For us, probably the most annoying villain ever. Her diva personality, her whiny, mood-swing-driven manner of speaking is enough to make anyone want to open the door of a submarine during a deep-sea dive.
However, we do have to mention...
No, we don't.
The fact that she is one of the most successful villains of all time.
No.
She did defeat a team of Rangers, the Turbo Rangers, and completely destroyed their command center. Divatox!
But seriously.
Most annoying villain ever. If you agree or disagree with us, or have anything else to say, please put it in the comments below. Sincerely, thank you for sharing, subscribing, and commenting on this video. If you go here, you can like us on Facebook.
If you go here, you can follow us on Twitter.
And if you go here, you can follow us on Instagram.
And remember, as we sign off, our hope is that the power will always protect you.
Let's power down. We have an update to our wall of more phenomenal things.
This past week, Chris here had the opportunity to meet with Josh. He is the administrator for the site Power Rangers 365, right?
That's right.
And he gave us a few things. Chris, what did he pass along to us?
Well, the object he gave us to add for the wall of more phenomenal things, this set of Ranger keys signed by none other than JDF. Thank you so much, Josh. We love this, and we are excited to add it to our wall. Along with this, though, he also gave us a little business card poster type thing. Has his face on it. Josh Wentworth, that's who he is. Apparently, he went to Power Morphicon, was advertising his customs work, so that's awesome. He also wrote on the back of this, "To my bros on PRNT, rock on."
Again, we want to thank Josh for his contribution to our wall. And we hope to collaborate with Josh here in the near future.
Check out his stuff again. Power Rangers 365. His customs work. He also does work on the Rangers store and some other pages. So we'll leave as many links in the description below as we can.
So be sure to check those out, and be sure to check us out next Saturday as we upload a new episode just for you. We'll see you then.